To insinuate that somehow we're behind this is totally and absolutely false.
More finger pointing and accusations today as the 4 Republican candidates for governor meet in a radio debate.
Kentucky State Police continue to investigate the cause of a crash that killed a young mother and wife early this morning.
A Southern Kentucky mother is asking for your help as she tries to set up a special tribute for her son who died nearly 5 years ago.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. It has turned into a nasty campaign in recent weeks, and today the 4 Republican candidates for governor took part in a heated debate that aired on radio statewide.
This came a day after a candidate, James Comer, defended himself against abuse allegations made by a former college girlfriend. Today, he blamed Hal Heiner's campaign for the claims, and that discussion took up much of the debate time. Sam Smith has our top story at 6.
There were 2 parts of this debate, the part where the candidates discussed policy, and then there was the part when they addressed James Comer's abuse allegations.
Are any of the parts of the story of the Courier-Journal true?
Comer's former college girlfriend told the paper that Comer was physically and mentally abusive. He says that's not true, and he thinks Hal Heiner's camp is behind it.
Do you believe Hal Heiner was part of this story coming out?
I certainly hope not, but his campaign was, yes.
Heiner said that he had nothing to do with the Courier-Journal story.
But to insinuate that somehow we're behind this is totally and absolutely false.
I don't know if he's behind the Comer story, but I'm telling you, his people have been pushing this for a long time, and Hal himself has personally told me months and months ago, before I even got in this race, that he knew things, not had heard things, that he knew things based on conversation that his people had had about Jamie Comer. You told me that yourself, Hal. You told me in your office, to my face. The reality is Hal Heiner is not who he pretends to be.
So what we're seeing is someone that's saying he's against attacks at the same time that he is attacking.
Matt Bevin and Will T. Scott said they do not think these allegations should disqualify Comer from the race.
I don't deal in yesterdays, Matt, and I'm not going to deal in yesterdays.
Heiner says this issue is between Comer and his ex, and he wouldn't comment on this issue further. In Louisville, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Well, after all of that, all the candidates said they will support the one who wins the Republican primary election.
Tonight, police are still trying to figure out what led to a crash that killed a young mother in Nicholas County. It happened this morning along Highway 68, not far from the Bourbon County line. Police say a 22-year-old woman from Carlisle died after her car hit a box truck. Jordan Blinds is tracking the investigation tonight.
A mother, a wife, she's somebody's daughter, lost her life today.
The accident that killed 22-year-old Glenda Crump of Carlisle happened early Wednesday morning. That's when Kentucky State Police say Crump's car was rear-ended by another, pushing it in the direct path of a box truck traveling in the other direction. The impact pushed Crump's car underneath the truck, killing her on impact.
Very tragic incident.
Troopers are now looking for the driver of a red minivan, who they believe swerved around Crump's car moments before the collision itself and may have been a contributing factor in the crash.
We haven't been able to find that vehicle, obviously, because they didn't stop.
And troopers say they weren't the only ones who didn't stop at the scene.
We had heard after we got on scene that several vehicles went around the collision after it happened.
Kentucky State Police say one of the very most disturbing things about this accident was the fact that only one passerby stopped to help. They say the first person to actually call 911 was the man who was driving the box truck who was involved in the crash itself.
Give us that little bit of your day to help us out in our investigation of the collision, because, again, this is a tragedy. A
tragedy that left a daughter, a wife, a mother, dead. In Nicholas County, Jordan Blinds, WKYT.
The crash reconstruction crew with Kentucky State Police will return to the scene tomorrow to do a total survey of the accident to get a better look at what caused it.
2 men charged in connection to a stolen bourbon case have agreed to plea deals. The Franklin County Attorney's Office tells us that Ronnie Hubbard and Sean Ballard pled guilty to a lesser charge of criminal conspiracy to receive stolen property. They had faced organized crime charges. In exchange, prosecutors say that both men agreed to testify against the 7 other people charged in the case. Investigators say more than $100,000 worth of bourbon was stolen from 2 distilleries. And prosecutors also say the child porn case against Hubbard has been dropped. Investigators now say what they found on his phone was the result of malware.
We have some new information tonight about the number of police shootings involving Kentucky State Police troopers. We requested the information after 2 KSP-involved shootings just this week. On Monday, state troopers shot and killed a man in Perry County after investigators say he pointed a gun at them following a confrontation. And yesterday, investigators say troopers wounded a Wolfe County man after he reportedly fired shots at them. According to state police, there have been 5 KSP-involved shootings so far this year. 2 suspects have died. In 2014, there were 11 trooper-involved shootings. 7 suspects died. In 2013, 7 shootings and 1 death, and 10 shootings in 2012, where 6 suspects died.
She lost her son nearly 5 years ago, but as a Southern Kentucky mother continues to mourn his death, she says every time she goes to visit his grave, she's reminded of something else she doesn't have. Timothy Matt Jackson was killed in September of 2010. His mother is now trying to raise enough money to provide the one thing she says every other burial plot in the cemetery has, except her son's. Phil Pendleton has the story from Laurel County, new at 6.
It's a place that Jody Tonkin is found frequently.
Tell him about his brothers.
Timothy Matt Jackson was killed on September 30th, 2010.
And wish that he would just get up.
His gravesite is surrounded by flowers.
I got him this one. His friend got him this.
Signs and sayings.
It's peaceful, it's calm, it's quiet. It's like it's just me and him one-on-one.
But her son's burial plot is missing something.
He needs a headstone.
Many headstones cost hundreds, if not several $1,000s. A GoFundMe page has been set up.
I would like to have his face etched into it, and then beloved son, brother, and husband in that order.
A marking easily seen for those passing through.
Then they'll know who he is and what happened.
What happened is that Timothy Matt Jackson was killed overseas because Matt Jackson was a Marine.
He got killed 2 days before his 23rd birthday.
His markings have the standard military footstones, but she wants more for her son, whose service was honored by so many after he died almost 5 years ago.
He should still be with his wife. He should be thinking about children. He should be going to his little brother's graduation next year.
But now she just wants a monument, another reminder of what he meant to her. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And we'll have a link to the GoFundMe page on our website on WKYT.com.
There is no doubt you've probably noticed it when you stepped outside this afternoon. There's a muggy feel to the air. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking that summer-like forecast. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. Those temperatures today right on cue into the middle 80s for many locations across the Bluegrass State. I think we're going to do that a few degrees better in the coming days, and that humidity will continue to inch up as well. Current readings are mainly into the low and mid 80s across the entire area until we get into southeastern Kentucky. A little more in the way of some clouds showing up into London and Harlan. That's why you're into the upper 70s. Not so much in Lexington. Mainly sunny skies. The humidity really not too bad at 41%, though it is slowly now beginning to inch its way up. 83 degrees, our current temperature, as you could see, for 10 miles as of right now. We're into the part of the day, though, when you get these scattering of showers and storms to really blow up. It's that summertime air leading to the isolated stuff that continues to show up into parts of the region. Notice how teeny tiny the stuff we're dealing with is, from south of McKean to Jackson County, just to the southeast now of Stanford, between the Stanford and the Rockcastle County area. Southeastern Kentucky, watch some stuff coming at us from the opposite direction. It's coming out of the southeast, out of Virginia. Lexington Metro, not a whole lot going on. We look at the flow aloft, and again, whatever's to our southeast is going to try to ride its way onto the north and northwest. Focus of the forecast on the steamy temperatures that roll on. And guys, when I come back in a few minutes, not only will we concentrate on the weather here, we'll take you into Oklahoma City, where a tornado is currently on the ground, and it may impact the Oklahoma City metro with rush hour in progress. We'll have a live look with Defender coming up.
All right, Chris, we will check in with you then. Would changing some one-way streets in downtown Lexington to two-way streets help traffic flow? Lexington city leaders want your opinion.
City leaders have been looking into whether Short Street, 2nd Street, North Upper, and North Limestone Streets should be changed to two-way. A public meeting has been planned for tonight. As Garrett Weimer tells us, people downtown seem divided on the issue.
If you really want to know how people feel about switching from one-way to two-way traffic, just ask the people who work downtown.
Oh, I definitely think it would help. That we would have more traffic, at least so people could see it.
Because you're getting more people coming past you, either one way or the other. You're getting better exposure.
I don't think it'll help businesses. I think anybody that wants to come downtown is going to come downtown. And, you know, parking's a bigger issue than the two-way streets.
Nobody can really park at any close to the businesses.
Dale Ferguson has owned this shop for 58 years and remembers when downtown had two-way traffic.
Many, many years ago, you had 2 lanes of traffic in each direction and parking on both sides. Now you have 3 lanes and no parking. So we should never have changed from this to begin with. What are you going to do if there's an emergency, an ambulance run or a fire run? You won't be able to get through it all. You take on a ball game night when Rupp Arena, traffic will back up on all 3 lanes all the way to Midland Avenue.
Ferguson says two-way traffic won't help his business because he's not allowed to have vertical signs downtown like they had in the past. Ferguson believes the two-way traffic pattern will make things worse.
I would love to go out there during traffic hour and just hold a sign up and say, just think of this, it would be a 1 lane and you'd be trying to move in this.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
The public meeting begins at 6:30 tonight at the Lexington Public Library on East Main Street. On WKYT.com, we have a timeline of Lexington's one-way streets and how they've changed over the years.
A new addition is coming to the Red Mile Racetrack in Lexington. An update on some renovations there coming up.
And then some familiar scents that are often associated with Kentucky have been turned into candles.